Awesome, guys. Welcome back to another episode. We got some special guests with us. We have Ben Kruper and Ashton Gaulin, winners of the Good Desert Open. So how does that sound?
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys coming on. And then we appreciate kind of Wilson setting this up. We know that you two are Wilson golf guys. How would you describe your relationship with Wilson before we get into the Desert Open and all of that?
It's been a very, very successful 2 months with Wilson. Very wholesome relationship. We both joined on about the same time in mid-December. And ever since then, it's like I think we both made the right choice, and we've gotten along great with Wilson. Wilson's been great to us. The relationship has just been awesome. So
yeah, I would say kind of like for us, right? We're a store, fitting center, teaching center, right? And Wilson's kind of made a big resurgence this past, I would say year or so, and I obviously I know Sam pretty well. I know he was down there in Arizona with you guys, and kind of looking at where Wilson's gone as a brand wise and seeing you guys coming along the way. You guys seem to put out some pretty cool content with Wilson. Got to hang out with Kisner, and how was that?
My head hurts.
Yeah, I'll let Ashton take that one if he remembers it.
Yeah, all the stuff we've done with Wilson has been amazing. I mean, all the people are super down to earth, and they really kind of understand where they want to go with this. I think the way they're pumping out content has just been amazing. As far as like the trip we did in California with the shoot and stuff, it was amazing. I mean, Kisner couldn't have been a better guy, and just all the people we were hanging out with was just so much fun. So
yeah, I mean, were you on the sidelines after that, taking the flop shot to the dome?
You took that like a champ.
I took it like a champ as far as it was painful for like, I don't know, an hour, if that.
Yeah.
Really wasn't too bad, but it was just one of those things that like the adrenaline was going so fast that I didn't even feel it. So, I ended up, that was our last shoot of the day. So we ended up just kind of getting some Advil in me and putting some ice on it. And then we went and played like 12 holes, like 2 hours.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes, something like that, you just got to keep going. Kind of leading into, because that essentially from my point of view, when I started following you guys' pages and kind of seeing you, it was kind of coincided with seeing Wilson's brand kind of take off. How would you guys describe kind of like what you guys do for a living? Do you call yourself content creators, professional golfers, influencers? Like what is it? I mean, for Old Man Golf Media, let's just say that. Like, how would you answer to if Old Man Golf Media asked you what you do?
It's I don't know, it's kind of confusing. I know Ashton's in a little different spot than I am. He's in college. I'm in Florida right now. I'm trying to play in some mini tour events and stuff like that. I'm not a pro yet, but my goal is to become a pro in the next coming months and play in Q school next year and kind of vlog that whole journey.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I mean, as of right now, I'm full time into this. So I guess, content creator is a better word than like influencer.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would classify myself as like a content creator right now. That's like what I'm doing is for a living, and then also golfing, practicing as much as I can.
Perfect.
I'm trying to get to the next level there.
Yeah, I'm in a little bit different of a spot. I'm still in college, and I'm still a full-time student. So all this stuff has kind of been part-time on the side, which is kind of why you see not much like effort put into like a page or something like that.
Yeah.
But there's a huge part of me that's kind of telling me to start doing this full time, and I think that's going this summer. So it's gonna be a good summer for the content creation. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the biggest thing you're seeing now, and kind of what's led into like the Good Open, which you guys won, is you see a lot of things. Everything started kind of Instagram. Now you're seeing things transition over to YouTube, right? YouTube golf content. Is that something that you guys are going to probably kind of dive into, or is it more just kind of, keeping it on, Instagram? Do you guys do TikTok as well?
Yeah, we started on TikTok.
Okay.
That's Ashton and I both like blew up at the same time last summer. I started posting on Instagram before him, and then he started posting on Instagram. So we kind of were like along the same lines as that. I've had a YouTube for a while and posted like short videos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I actually have tons of content coming on YouTube in the next like month.
Oh.
Like I have tons of collabs on the way. I have like I'm not going to say here, but I have like the biggest video. I guess this is going to be released later, right?
Next week. So
okay, so yeah, I have a video with Grant Horvat dropping today at noon, actually.
Heck yeah.
So that's like a perfect kickstart to my like YouTube career, and yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that. It's definitely a different realm, like a little more work into those videos and stuff like that. I'm gonna have to start taking a little more serious, but yeah, definitely gonna get serious on YouTube.
So. Yeah. Have you done anything YouTube wise, Ashton?
Not really, just kind of short stuff.
Yeah.
I've found a few thousand subscribers just through keeping the link on my socials, and then
that helps.
The big push is this summer and just kind of doing some stuff related to Michigan and series and all that stuff. So.
Oh, awesome. How did you guys get paired together or kind of team up for the Good Open?
This is a good story.
yeah. Why don't you tell Ashton? Because you're the one that he reached out to me when we both realized we were signing with Wilson. So
yeah, so we both signed with Wilson end of December, middle of December, and I can't remember the day that like the video dropped of Good calling out other influencers.
Mm-hmm.
I like immediately texted Ben and we got our connections together. Still hadn't met him at this point. We just decided that we were gonna play together, and we texted all the people we knew at Good, and they responded pretty quickly. And then we went to Palm Springs, California, like end of January, and that was the first time we actually met. So we had spent a week together, just kind of playing and having fun, doing our shoots with Wilson and stuff, and then beginning of February was the tournament, and that was like the second time we'd ever seen each other. So
I'll say it worked out pretty well.
It did. The stars aligned for sure.
We had a connection going that day.
How would you guys say, like, how would you guys describe the event? Because it was really a first of its kind. I mean, especially for me, I've been a professional now. I've been a teacher for 7 years. I played full time for 2 years, and we never had anything like that. I remember turning on the event when the link opened and saw 900,000 viewers on YouTube. Right. So like you guys were in it. You guys were already probably on hole 5 when coverage came on. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, it sounds about right.
I mean, like, did you guys know it was going to be that big? Like when you showed up to play in it?
Yeah, I kind of expected that. The atmosphere was just like nothing that I had personally ever experienced. Like I've played in front of crowds and stuff like that, like members and all that. But it's just like, it's different when it's like a bunch of people that follow you, that watch you. Like when we're practicing on the putting green, there's like 150 people just lined up around the putting green, like calling your name and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I've never been more nervous practice putting in my life. Like it was just such a weird atmosphere. It was so cool though. We were, but it was such a cool atmosphere though.
How competitive was it? Like the tournament, like I would say amongst the competition. I mean, there were, like we all know there was a few teams there that we know probably didn't have a chance of winning. But like for those of you that I would say players of you guys' caliber, like was it pretty competitive?
Yeah, from what I understand, it seems like people were really determined to win that thing. Like there was a lot of people in the field, whether it be Brian Bros, Garrett and Grant, just kind of all those people that expected to shoot a low number. And I mean, still did. It just, it was a tough day and stuff like that.
Yeah. You guys didn't really have the patented Arizona weather for it.
No, it stunk, which might've been our advantage. So
yeah, right. Yeah. Coming from Michigan, I'm used to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The competitiveness was definitely there, and everybody had the drive to just kind of win that thing. And there was definitely a little bit of pressure on every shot.
There was like 4 teams that I was just like, okay, these teams are legit. Like we kind of knew going in, if we beat a couple of those teams, then we have a very good chance. Like Michael Block and Brad Dalkey was the one I was thinking about. The Bryan brothers,
Yeah.
Willie Wilcox and Dan Rappaport, they finished second.
Yeah.
Very quietly snuck up and got an 8 under. And then Garrett and Grant, they're both super talented and they could put it together at any time. So that was kind of like, those were the 4 teams I was looking out for the whole time. And I was like, those are the 4 teams that have the best chance. We can definitely sneak in there. We definitely weren't like the favorites by any means. But we were up there, you know, going into the event. I knew we had a good chance as long as we just played well.
Yeah. I mean, when the coverage came on and kind of seeing the pairings, I was like, it looks like there's 6 or 7 teams that are kind of bunched together that probably score wise has a potential to compete. But I think like it wasn't maybe but 5 minutes into the coverage, they showed that long putt that you made. Now, was that for birdie? Was that for eagle?
That was for birdie.
Yeah.
We had just eagled the hole before. Ashton had just made like a 30-footer. And we were 3 under through 3 already going into that hole. We both kind of hit bad tee shots off the tee and had to take that from like 70 feet from just off the green. And that was kind of when that putt like went in, I kind of knew that it was like our day, like the stars were aligning. At that point, we had like ham and egged it pretty well.
Yeah.
And we kept doing that like the whole round. And yeah, so that was for birdie. That was to get the 4 under through 4. And after that, I just kind of knew.
Yeah.
Yeah. After that, the hole looked like a basketball hoop. So.
Yeah, it did.
I'll say you guys looked like every single time they'd switch back and forth, it was either like one of you hitting the shot, the other making the putt. Definitely looked like a ham and egg, which we play like for our section and stuff. We play a lot of team related events. So like trust me, it comes down to like how a lot of the times it's not so much like comes down to skill. It comes down to like where you're going to pick one another up.
100%. And in a scramble, it's like 80% ham and egg. He made so many. It's funny because Ashton told me before the event how he's like not that great of a putter. And then he goes out there and makes like 5 putts over 10 feet in 14 holes. And I'm just like, dude, you made so many putts that like mattered so much just in our round, just like keeping that like momentum up. You know what I mean? And yeah,
there was a point where I was like, I was looking at a putt and almost guaranteeing I was going to make it. Like it was I don't feel that ever.
I'll say like, that's a fun type of golf to play, and not a lot of people feel that.
Never feel like that because putting's always been my weakness, and just like that day when I missed like a 4-footer for par on the first hole, and then I don't know how I got the confidence back. It was probably the eagle putt I made on 3, but
yeah,
it was still. Like the hole just looked so large and the greens were so perfect and grass clippings was amazing. So
yeah, that place looked pretty cool. Now they just opened that, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Now is it because you guys played a random kind of like routing of it? Is it like a traditional 18-hole golf course, or is there more par 3s and like trickled in par 4s, par 5s, stuff like that? Or
yeah, it's a par 3 course. Like it has 18 holes with like a few small par 4s, but not like all of them are like perfectly lit. I think it is kind of why they wanted to go to 14 holes, is just because some of them look better than others. But also they just wanted to add those few par 4s that made it a little more competitive.
Yeah, I mean that's like the scenery, just kind of how they produced it. I mean, it was a home run, and like you look at it like this past Monday. Did you guys watch the match?
Oh yeah,
yeah. So like I watched a few of it, and then I don't know if you guys saw like the numbers came out of it. It was like the least viewed match of all time. Like they had 500,000 total viewers, right? And I'm like, okay, but this YouTube good event did 900,000 viewing at like one time. Like, you know, and it kind of bodes like my next question, right? Do you guys on your side of things, right? Do you guys see more of this stuff coming up in the future? Like, do you think there's more growth kind of in the game, into the sport, to kind of get, you know, content creators, personalities like yourselves on camera, like for a live audience? And are we maybe going to see less of like actual like top tier professionals in the spotlight?
You know,
I
it
know
can
it's a
go a
loaded
couple
question, so
ways. It's a little bit of load, but it could go a couple ways because I mean this event did well and it created a lot of buzz.
yeah,
Um, and I feel like the reason people watch YouTube golf and they like watch this event is because they feel a little bit more of a personal connection
yeah,
with the guys playing. Like
Mhm.
when they watch an hour long YouTube video, you get to see a lot of like what a person's like. You know, it's tough when you're watching the PGA Tour, you know, and it's clicking back and forth between like 20 guys and you're just watching their golf. I feel like YouTube golf creates such a you just know the person on a personal level. So therefore you get a lot of fans following, a lot of like super fans, a lot of just like people that are super interested. Obviously kids love YouTube golf. So that's the future of golf, right? Is all these kids. And yeah, I think you're just going to see more of it down the line. You got the next event at French Lick in June. And I think it's only going to get bigger from here. So
Are you guys going to run it back?
Oh yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
That's awesome.
we're gonna repeat.
There you go. Have you guys seen? So, like, I'm sure you have, but like here, because we have the Myrtle Beach Classic. Now we're in Wilmington. We're only an hour and 40 minutes north of Myrtle Beach, and then obviously a PGA Tour event's doing the first thing. They're doing a thing for the first time. They're doing for a sponsor exemption. They're having half the field of content creators, half a field of, I would say, mixed between tour players, high school, you know, established tournament players kind of competing for a tour spot. And you know, you got to like wonder if are they going to do, is Vince going to go more that route? Now, obviously when I heard you guys were coming on the podcast and looking at the field, I mean, did you guys ever get reached out to for that?
Not for that. That was,
No.
I think they had already made their decision before the Good Desert Open. Like, I think they kind of already had their field in place before the Good Desert Open. And I think that could have changed things if it was after.
Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't get the invite to that. I wanted to play in that. I actually talked to Grant about that a little bit because he's playing in it. And yeah, I think it just didn't align, but
yeah, we got wind of it quite a few months ago, and we know some contacts with Play Golf Myrtle Beach, and we were like, okay, well, if we're doing that, like, you know, we kind of were like, hey, so how do we get a spot for that? And obviously our following is nowhere near where you guys is net, but and that's where it's like, I was sitting there, I was like, well, if the guys that just won like event that's fairly similar, I was like, man, they should at least been there. But it makes sense if the field was probably all set there.
Yeah,
I would think so.
A little late in the game to hop in there. So
hey, well, if you know guys go win at French Lick, then I'll probably make the next one decisions a little easier.
Yeah.
oh
yeah.
definitely.
Now, as far as like, you know, and on our page, you see a lot of equipment related stuff. Now, when you guys switched over to Wilson, how was the fitting like getting you guys into you know, working out your bags and kind of, are you guys still kind of tweaking some things in your bags with Wilson, or explain kind of like how that's something you don't see a lot of people on YouTube talk about, is how they might film a fitting, but they don't really talk in detail, kind of like how a lot of people like to showcase with what's in their bag.
I've got a interesting story with that one, just because I signed so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I built my bag based off of specs that I like,
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like my club should fit me. So I got like everything, all my irons an inch long, like certain driver specs that I like, and then I just had normal wedges. So I hadn't even been fit when we went to the Desert Open. So all my clubs were kind of like a mesh of all the Wilson's clubs, but it was the clubs got to me super quickly, and I put them in the bag and started playing them. But I actually just got fit like professionally last week.
Awesome.
So I've got a YouTube video coming out over that whole thing, and just kind of what goes into it, because I was there for 3 hours, so it's like really tiring to hit that many balls, but just kind of what goes into a fitting like that, and fitting all the Wilson clubs and stuff like that. And we got some stuff figured out. So the bag is actually fitted to me now, but
good.
It was quite the experience to see how fast they were able to get me my stuff and just kind of build it to the specs that I like. And yeah, it was impressive.
Yeah, well, we'll definitely kind of, yeah, you don't have to spill any of the setup before that video comes out. But yeah, you're right. It sounds like you did it right, because if you did a full bag fitting, it's definitely going to take a little bit of time.
Yeah,
And then
definitely.
you are only doing one company too. I mean, biggest
Yeah.
thing is we do full bag fittings here, and it's a 2 hour process, and we have 12 different companies so to go through.
Right.
So what about your bag, Ben?
I'm kind of in the same realm as Ashton. I was always super like I tweak with equipment a ton. Like before I joined Wilson, like I would change putters all the time, change drivers all the time, tweak out shafts. Like I was just equipment junkie, and I kind of knew like exactly what I wanted, like the specs wise. I went up to New York. I actually did a little. I did a little video on the Wilson Fit AI when I went up there, the
Oh,
new
nice.
technology they came out with.
Yep.
So I did that up there. I got fit into irons for that, and I ordered the driver I wanted, the 3 wood I wanted, and the 2 iron, and all the specs I like. I'm actually kind of in the same boat with Ashton as far as like I'm gonna be filming a YouTube video in the next couple of weeks about a full. I'm gonna get a full bag fitting, just like go in detail. You never know when you know have something that you're missing or something like that, or I don't know my swing insanely well. So yeah, I'm gonna be in the same boat as him, kind of getting fit, making a YouTube video out of it, uh, including that with like a what's in the bag, updated what's in the bag. But yeah, kind of in the same boat with him. We both knew our specs pretty well, so we both got our clubs around the same time, and yeah, they've treated us well so far, though.
Yeah, I mean, biggest thing, it's like we've seen, it looks like they're just going back to like the classic Wilson iron that everyone raved and loved about, right? I mean, they've always known for
Yeah,
making fantastic irons, and we've seen it in our bays, like the woods and stuff. It can compete with anybody, right?
yeah.
But obviously, it comes down to that doing that fitting to get it tweaked. Now, we just recently had our last podcast. We had Spencer from Fujikura on to go over the new VeloCore Plus, the new Ventus. Now I saw that you guys did some things in testing with that. What'd you guys think of that?
That was fun. They invited me down to Orlando for the PGA show, like a little demo day, and
Mm-hmm.
I never hit the Ventus Blue, and I got to hit that, and I was really impressed with that shaft. They tipped it, I think, half an inch to kind of like go with my swing speed or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I actually used that shaft yesterday in a tournament round for the first time because I have always used the Ventus Black. But it's a good shaft. But I think Fujikura, I think they make the best shafts on the market. So like
There's a
I've always
reason
kind of
why that's
thought
the
that.
number one shaft on tour.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a
yeah,
lot to be
exactly.
said to it.
Hey, I'm wearing a Fujikura shirt right now. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you gotten to hit the shaft, Ashton?
Not the new one.
Yeah.
I was also invited down to Orlando. I couldn't make it just because I was in school, but
Makes sense.
they were telling me all about it and stuff like that. But I think it's going to be in the bag come the next couple months because I think it's shipping right now on the way. So
Cool. Awesome. Well, yeah, that's the thing. We got them in and testing. So, I mean, it's a tough shaft to beat. I just know, I at least saw a video of Ben when you were hitting it. So I just figured I ask, just hear it from a different perspective.
Yeah, yeah. The mishits were really. I was like shocked to see the consistency with everything. I wasn't even swinging it that great that day, and it was like every ball was doing the exact same thing. So
Yeah, so I
pretty
would
happy with
kind of
that.
leave it like this. You guys been gracious with your time, so yeah. Last question here: what's next for you guys? What would you say? Kind of, you like to see your pages like to see kind of next with just kind of content golf in general.
I'll let Ashton take this one first.
um, I think where I'm going next is just kind of taking this on full time
Yeah.
and really producing like content that people want to watch every day and including like my personality a little more.
Mm-hmm.
I think I do struggle in that aspect. I post a lot of swing videos, but I don't post like myself, right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of stuff on YouTube this summer is going to be huge. But really just focusing on doing this as like a full-time thing and making sure I put out the best content for the people that want to watch. So
Perfect. Yeah, man.
yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting over the next couple months because this YouTube, like now that I'm making the push for YouTube, I feel like you just have to make, consistent like wholesome, like good content, on YouTube. You have to come out with it every week or so. And just like, I don't know, I'm starting to realize that it's a little more of a job than just posting one short video a day, one 30-second video. It's just like 30 minutes of editing or whatever, 30 minutes of filming, and then boom. But YouTube, it's like I stayed up till like 1 a.m. the other day editing a video that I wanted to get out. Like, I don't know, it's just gonna be a different life, but I'm looking forward to it because it's gonna be a grind, but I'm having a lot of fun with it, and there's gonna be a lot of long content coming out. So I think people are gonna be I think a lot of my fans are gonna be interested to see.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you guys coming on. I wish both of you best of what's yet to come, and then we'll continue to follow. We'll continue to follow the pages, and if there's anything we can do for you guys along the way, just let us know. So, but we appreciate it, and thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us on.
Yeah. All right. Y'all take care.